Dr. Gigi shared, I'm Renee DiVincenzo, I'm a business mentor, and today, what I wanted to speak to you about is not how you start, it's how you finish. So, a lot of us here as business owners, or maybe we've had a dream and there was something that we wanted to do. Our journey, and what you just saw in the video I shared, was my journey. It was my dream. It was where I wanted to go. It was starting my business and understanding the growth and what I needed to achieve, to be a speaker, to be able to do classes. And actually towards the end, as I had that picture, was to become a sales director with Mary Kay Cosmetics, be able to earn those career cards. Because I will tell you, nothing is given to you, especially when you are in direct sales. You have to earn it. You have to learn about yourself. You have to know who you are, how you work, because the way things start is it's how you want to start the game and how you want to start your journey. Because in everything it is that we do have setbacks, we do have doubts. And we have to take those small steps, because it's not how you start or what defines your success. It actually, what defines you is your resilience and your focus to carry to the finish line and to get to that finish line. So when you think about yourself, and I first want to say, as I'm going to be going through my presentation, what are your wins? Now, we think our wins are always what we've accomplished, but our wins are also what we had doubt in and what we found a solution to move forward to. So in my next slide, which, do you have a clicker for that? Oh, is this it? I'm sorry. Okay. Am I doing this right? Oh, there you go. In life and in business, it's not about the start, it's about the strength, it's about the finish. So again, as I shared to you about challenges. Now, a lot of times what happens is we talk ourselves out of finishing. Not good enough. Why am I doing this? Is this the right thing for me? Who really needs my services? And both in life and in business, again, the start doesn't matter, but what it is about how you're going to want to finish. Now, standing here as you see a picture, and it does take a lot to be a runner, to be where it is that you want to go, but what really means is that you never give up. Find the solutions. Find why are you wanting to win that race? Why are you wanting to be that success? But you have to understand, what is it that you want from your business? What is it that you have to offer? Where is it that you want to go when it comes to your journey? So when I say to you, Starbucks, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Starbucks. We all love Starbucks, right? We all know what it's like here at Publix, trying to get to go grocery shopping, and the whole line is out that door that you can't even get into where it is that you want to go. But I'm going to tell you a little story about Starbucks. I'm going to talk to you about branding, how it is that you're putting your image forward. How are people going to remember you? What is it that you're going to offer that your services will say more about you before you even speak? So the story about Starbucks is, as you see the founders, and they just wanted to make coffee. They wanted to have a coffee shop, and it was roasted beans that they started with. And they actually sold high quality coffee beans and equipment. But as you can see, in 1971 and 1982, they opened the doors to Howard Schultz. Now, I want you all to think about something when it comes to investments, especially us ladies, right? We'll go buy Starbucks. We like our frappe, whatever they want to call those coffees. I like my non-fat white coffee, mocha. And when you think about we as women, we love to buy things, right? Why? Because it makes us feel good. A pair of shoes, the bags, the clothes, gonna get my coffee. And when you think about the money that you have spent on yourself, because it's a feel good, it makes us feel great. But why is it we do not spend the money on us and what we need to invest in ourselves when it comes to business, especially when it comes to being mentored or being coached or understanding what you need to go and where it is that you need to be? Why? Because it's hard work. And the thing always have to remember is, for someone to invest in you, you have to invest in yourself. You're always learning every single day. The way that people are going to want to work with you is about what it is you know, what it is that you can share. So when you're looking at Starbucks, and when the door opened up to Howard, and when Howard came to them, he was actually inspired by Italian coffee when he visited Milan. And he had a vision for the first Starbucks cafe opening, which was in 1984. Now, can you imagine if the founders of Starbucks did not want to invest in Howard's dreams, what he knew he could do for the business? Would they be where they are today? Maybe, maybe not. But when you open up your doors and you let another set of eyes come in and look at your business, you will be able to grow more and grow further on there, right? But you also have to understand too, what is it that you're saying in your business? Coffee speaks for itself. We like it, right? Or we're not gonna like it. But the one thing is can you imagine or think about the times where you had a great conversation with someone and you're talking about the business and about what it is you could do for them, where it is that you could take them. And then all of a sudden, you're ghosted. You don't hear from that person anymore, right? Why? Maybe because that person you were speaking to felt as though you did not hear them. You see, when it comes to business, there's not a one-size-fits-all for your clients. And the way that you grow your business, the way you will get the clientele, and the way you will want people to work with you is by listening to their pain, feeling the symptom, and then putting the solution that fits their needs. Now, how do you know if you're doing that or not? Well, I'm going to give you a little tidbit that I learned in direct sales. Record yourself for a day. Shut it off, and then listen to it tomorrow. And then ask yourself, do you want to work with yourself? Because we then can hear our voice. Now, how did that happen with me? Well, I'll tell you, I had to do a recording, and I forgot to shut it off. So that whole day, I heard exactly what I sounded like. And when I showed it to my husband, he goes, do you see what you sound like? And I said to him, well, I'm still right. Because we were having a little bit of a debate, and I was still right. But you don't understand how you sound until you actually hear yourself. Because you have to remember, you are the vehicle of your journey. All of you drove here, right? Okay, maybe you walked here. But however you got here, you are the one that will bring your journey forward, right? You want to get to point A to point B, but how are you driving your car? Are you just a Maserati and you're just like speeding down the road, not really looking around what's happening? Or back in the day, and I'm going to age myself, we have that Ford Pinto, and we're just driving along, right? So what I'm trying to share with you is that even though Starbucks, as you see them here, they did have struggles, and they had financial struggles back in 2000. And in 2000, what they had to do is they had to revamp themselves. They had to reevaluate. And that's where you are in business. You have to look at your own journey. Are you growing? Are you moving? And if not, what can you do differently to get that interest for people to want to work with you? Customer service is the biggest thing because you cannot make a first impression. People will remember what they see the first time. And Starbucks rebounded, they changed their menu, and they went global. Why? Because of Howard's big dream. And because of that, they now have technology and they now have mobile for you to be able to get your coffee. So when you're looking at the picture, you may say, well, I'm a small business, I'm not Starbucks. But I say to you, why not? What's your big dream? Are you holding yourself back? Why aren't you letting yourself move forward? Why are you letting that doubt come in? Because doubt is putting the brakes on in your vehicle when you're driving. You're not going to move forward. Doubt is fearful. But when you feel fear and you've got those butterflies in your stomach, that means you're growing. And you're getting to that next level of where it is that you want to be. And right now, today, as you see, they are in these different countries. And it's about 80 countries, but this is what I'm showing right now. And in the green, look at that. That's how much Starbucks grew because of Howard Schultz. And he had that dream. So I say to you, if you find that you want to move forward, but you don't want to invest in yourself, well, you have the brakes on in your vehicle. Because the way you make money is the way you understand how to make money and understand how you're bringing your communication forth, how people are seeing you. So when it comes to guidance, with guidance, focus, and resilience, finishing strong becomes a possibility. Who do you have guiding you in your business? Is it you, yourself? That's great. And you have to remember, you are in your own four walls. So what you see, others may not see the same as you. Because if you are out in a conference or you're sharing your business and someone says to you, so what do you do? Or they look at your business card and ask the same question, the message isn't getting out there of what it is that you do to help them. And as a mentor, and I work with women entrepreneurs, and I work with them at every stage of their journey. And yes, sometimes they're stuck to get started, or sometimes you may be stumbling in a midway, or sometimes the spirit burnt out because you're doing too much. You do not know how to slow yourself down or pace yourself, or how to delegate out your work. The difference is in flawness. In the beginning, it is the guidance to stay on course and the focus to keep priorities clear, as well as the resilience to keep moving forward. That's how shaky starts become a strong finish. So when you look at the finish line in what it is that you do, your legacy isn't about the finish line. That's where your legacy is built in by the finish line. It's the proof of persistence, the story that people will remember. What's your story? I will tell you mine quickly. I never wanted to be a business owner, ever, because I saw how hard my parents worked. 9 to 5 is fine with me. Go to work, come home. But I didn't realize that sales and business was instilled in me as a child because of my parents. And one day when I thought about when I was a hairdresser, because that's what I was, I graduated high school, I realized that I didn't have a plan B. What would happen if I no longer can cut hair or stand on my feet? So that's when I went into direct sales. I figured, I like Mary Kay, I'm just gonna buy for myself. Actually, when they first was asked, I said mine is 0. I don't wanna do that. But I love the product, so I got it for myself at 50%, and I helped my consultant. And then I saw the money I was bringing her, and I said, hey, I can do this. So I did it for myself. And then one thing led into another. I loved it. You see, when you're in business, if you love what you do, you're never selling, ever. You're only selling when you don't like what you do, because you need to ask yourself, are you a leader? Or are you wanting to move people forward? Or are you a dictator? Now, what do I mean by that? Those are people that want things for themselves. They'll tell you the world. They'll give you everything. But do you want to be grandma with the apple pie? And that's going to, the holidays are coming. I don't know, Thanksgiving's my favorite. And I wear stretchy clothes that day. So I can eat a lot. So by the time dinner's over, now you know dessert's coming. And here comes grandma. You smell that apple pie. And you're like, uh-oh. And there comes grandma with it steaming, this apple pie. And you're looking at the ice cream. Oh my God. And you can't eat. But you're gonna. Because you know you're not getting that till next year. Right? You want it. That's what you want your clients to feel. They want what you have, and they are not going to worry about your cost, your fee. Why? Because you listened to them. And that's the importance of when it comes in your business. Always listen to the person you're speaking to. But how do you do that? You know, if you ever record yourself and talk about your business, why don't you count how many times you say I? How do you avoid that? By asking questions. By asking questions. When you hear somebody, what is the one thing that they say that you know you can help them with? You ask them a question. They'll give you more info. And then you'll say to them, how would you like me to help you? See, you're opening up the door to an invitation. You're not telling them how I can help you. So always look at the question and how you are going to want to move forward by building your client base. Because when you're looking at your first dollar, your business isn't defined by the first dollar, but it impacts how you finish. The first dollar is so exciting. That's when you see all the money on the wall when you walk into stores, because it starts your journey. But what truly defines the impact is what you create over time, how you're laying your foundation. Do you have a strong foundation in your business? Will it weather the perfect storm? And I learned that before I moved to Florida, when I looked at these beautiful homes on the beach, and then the hurricanes came, and those homes were no longer there. And I said, wow, they didn't have a strong foundation. And I thought to myself, do I have a strong foundation? The clients you serve, it's the problem solving and the difference you are making in their lives. Success is measured at the starting line, isn't measured at the starting line, it's measured at the finish, in the legacy your business brings to them and what you're leaving behind. So when you're looking at it, it's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. And what I want to share with you today before I'm in my close, and for how we can stay connected, is I have a few scan codes. My website will give you more resources if you want to learn about how you can explore and how you want to grow. If you'd like me to speak in an engagement that you were having, I have the codes there, or workshops. If there's a training you would like me to do for your staff or for a group of women that you are finding that could use that unstuck feeling. And if you found today inspiring, and if you want to know where your finish line is, scan and schedule a clarity call. That's all it is a clarity call. Because whatever fits your needs and where you want to be is we could develop a conversation. Now, before I will leave, I'm going to tell you a little story that was said to me while I was in direct sales. And I'm going to share the story about a little boy who was in a race. And he had to run against other runners that were much, much more powerful than him. And as he was running this race, he was falling behind. He even got to the point where he fell down. And he was embarrassed and he wanted to cry. And the crowd just had the biggest gasp. And he saw his father stand up. And he wanted to quit. But this little boy got back up. And he ran his hardest. Stumbled again, but he got back up. You see, everyone else in that race finished. This little boy crossed the finish line. He was the last one. But you know what? Everyone in that audience stood up and cheered him on because he was the true winner of the race. Why? He never gave up. So it's not where you start. It's where you finish. Thank you.